Welcome to the National Baseball Hall of Fame Museum here in Cooperstown, New York. I'm Craig Muter, Director of Communications. With me today is John Odell, our Curator of History and Research. And this doesn't look like baseball, but I think it has to do with baseball. New to the museum, this artifact from the Houston Astros. Tell us a little about it, John.
This is a great artifact from the Houston Astros. It is a helmet that was worn in the Astrodome back in 1965 when the Astros first changed from being the Colt 45s to being the Houston Astros. Now, you've got to throw yourself back there a little bit to really get the full feel of this. Remember, 1965, the middle of the space race, we were on the way trying to put together the Apollo space program and go to the moon, and Houston was the national center of the space program, and the Houston Astros were right in the middle of that. The Astros created for every member of their team, not just the players, but all of the staff, space-oriented uniforms, and this was what the groundskeepers wore. It's a helmet that was worn. As a matter of fact, they weren't even called groundskeepers; they were called the Earthmen because they took care of the Earth. But they were the groundskeepers, wearing orange jumpsuits and these helmets. And we've got some wonderful images back in the day of them. Most of them black and white images, of course. But this is what was going on back in 1965. Now, fast forward a number of years. A few years ago, the Baseball Hall of Fame had a traveling exhibit called Baseball is America. That one stop was Houston, Texas, and the Astros loaned us one of these helmets for that exhibit. And at that time, we were floored. We thought this is wonderful. And then a couple of years ago, in 2010, for the 45th anniversary of the Houston Astros nickname, the Astros went back to the Astrodome, pulled these out of storage, dusted them off, the original helmets from 1965, gave them back to the Earthmen, who again wore orange jumpsuits for a turn back the clock day, a retro day, and wore these helmets again. Earlier this past spring, one of the members of the Hall of Fame, one of our staff, got a chance to go back down to Houston and was talking with Mike Acosta, who is Houston's curator and authentication expert and general historian of the Astros. And Acosta remembered that we had been so enthralled by this wonderful helmet from back in the day and Baseball is America that he said, would we be interested in having it here for the Hall of Fame? The answer obviously is yes. It's a great artifact that has both an old story and a brand new story since it was used in a recent turn back the clock day.
And an artifact like this speaks to the culture around baseball, not just the bats and the balls, the game. This speaks to what was going on at the time when these games were being played. That's
exactly right, Craig. That's one of the things that we love here at the Hall of Fame. It's not just about the bats and balls and gloves. It is about that, but it's about how America and American culture is touched by baseball, and baseball touches America and American culture. They're linked together, and it's a great way to be able to look through baseball and see something else that was going on.
And so many of the artifacts we receive are from Major League players, but this is actually from a gentleman with the Astros who is keeping their history too. So they understand the value of having it preserved in a place like Cooperstown.
That's right, and it's one of the things that we have here at Cooperstown. Because we've been doing this for so long, we have such great connections with all of the teams. They all know that we're always interested in anything new and old, but unusual. And that's just the value of having been around for a long, long time and creating a lot of great connections with all 30 teams.
Baseball history right here in Cooperstown, New York. Come visit us at the Hall of Fame or check us out online at baseballhall.org.